Daystar Peterson, you have no excuses. You knew what you was getting into. As soon as you started dapping in, as soon as you switched up to the industry, started dapping them celebrity motherfuckers and left the real ones. You switched up from being real to being real fake, bro. So, for you to be so surprised and shocked and stunned that these celebrities would turn their back on you the minute this case dropped, come on. You ain't fooling nobody. You knew this shit was gonna happen. So quit acting like as if you knew that they was gonna be your friends in the first place. I'm telling you. The real ones will stick with you no matter what, good or bad. But other than that, everything that he spoke about in that IG live video was 100% concurrently true. Now, I know a lot of y'all gonna be thinking about some stuff he said, but let me tell you this: the biggest defrauder who I would definitely recommend, if you watch his video, do not pay attention to him, because he's a sheep, and the fact is he's only barking his little mouth because he's afraid to come out wrong, even though once this all ends up and Meg comes clear and says what she really is gonna be telling the truth about, this guy's gonna look like an imbecile. And I think his career as a YouTuber will be done. I don't know if his name is worth mentioning, but because I've just lost completely all respect for him. But let me make this, let me switch the topic real quick. I want to commend Tory for being man enough to step up and, you know, speak what he had to say in that IG live. He basically spoke a lot of the things that I've spoke about. Things that seemed very shady, that seems very inconcurrent with what Meg was trying to scheme. Now, I still think that really what happened, I know there's some people saying that it was Meg and Kelsey fighting for a gun or some shit, and Tory tried to take the gun away or whatever. I don't think Tory has really spoken about it, because I still think he's following the street code and he's not trying to snitch or whatever. But I still think there was a third party involved when you look at what the police, you know, recovered with the 4 shells being out there on the streets. I still think that Tory was ambushed by a third party who, like I said, had bad blood with them, because repping Roddy Ricch. I believe this all goes back to that argument that Tory and Roddy had on Twitter, where Tory made a song called Watch For Your Soul, where he definitely bit Roddy Ricch hard. I called him out on it. Obviously, his dick riding fans are going to be saying otherwise, but the truth is the truth, and you can't hide from the truth. So you lying motherfuckers, keep going in and suck that dick. But anyways, yeah, Roddy Ricch had a problem with that. And Tory's response, which to me was probably the most half-hearted response I think I've ever seen someone give, was he was talking about, it was for my dead homie. Dog, if anything, you did your homie a disservice. Why would you make a shitty-ass song like that, where you come off kind of weird, bro, and you know, it ain't really you, and you're gonna have the nerve to dedicate that to him, when you had so many opportunities beforehand and lost cause and all that to dedicate that anything to him. Just to me, it was like, it seemed to me like things didn't add up. But at the end of the day, you know, Tory, excuse me, at the end of the day, Tory's human. So, you know, for him to have some screw ups and really have some misses as an artist is gonna happen. So I'm not really trying to bash on him as to the point where I'm like, you know, thinking that he's not gonna be better than ever, or that he can't top what he did in the past. I just speak on what the current, like what he currently puts out, and I just kind of go on a day-by-day basis. Some people miss that idea, and they think I'm not aware of the long-term solution, like I don't got the telescopic view. Bitch, please, I see further than you can. I even predicted that this shit was gonna come down. I'm not gonna say like that it was gonna be the Meg situation, but I knew that the way he was going with this music, he was just gonna keep going down. He wasn't gonna be able to find a way to get up, and you know, eventually he was gonna get that wake-up call. My day 1 subscribers will back me up on that. I've said that he's gonna get a wake-up call. And you know, this case was that. But either way, the whole point is Tory's innocent. And anyone that wants to say why he didn't speak up back then, well, think about it this way. Wouldn't, if you know that you're being put under hot water for something you didn't do, would it be smart to go out there and yap and say that, oh, I didn't do it and all that? You know what I mean? It's just like, I don't know. To me, I think he did the most diplomatic way of handling it, a professional way. And like true professionals, you don't speak about that out in the open. You let your lawyers represent you and put that in court. Because at the end of the day, it's legal matters. It doesn't matter about the, like, I get the street people are going to want to know. But listen, he's got to handle things diplomatically. And plus, Megan is scheming, so obviously she's gonna shoot her shots first. But Tory was trying to play patient, and he was doing well until, you know, I don't think he slipped up until he made a response to the tweet that he DM'd Hot New Hip Hop about his streaming numbers on Spotify, which to me is a terrible look. You should have never responded in the first place. Keep your mouth shut on that, because then now you're just portraying yourself as a dude that only cares about your numbers and your hits and your popularity and relevance over what's the bigger picture in the case. You're supposed to represent that you're innocent and that you focus on this. That's where you went wrong. You should have put that first before you until October 13th passed. And to me, I think it's appropriate that he dropped an album. Maybe it was a little bit too early. Maybe he could have dropped it after, I don't know. I think he dropped it before the case on the 13th happened. Yeah, he did. So I think maybe it was a bit too soon. I think he was just really excited to really just, not excited, but really anxious to really get his side of the story, because he just couldn't hold it anymore. But at the end of the day, if he would have just done what he did now with the IG and kind of like ignored dropping an album, as well as, you know, not tweeting the Hot New Hip Hop, I think things would look a lot more clear. And at the end of the day, maybe in some people's eyes, his message will hold more value. To me, he's only reiterating what I've said, what some of the things that he's mentioned in his album Daystar on IG Live. So to me, he's just continuing to be consistent. And it's not just about consistency. It's like, you could tell, like, he's being honest, he's being truthful. And I've always got that vibe about Tory. I don't think Tory will bullshit you unless he was trying to be arrogant and cocky. And at this point, he's even mentioning he doesn't want to screw things over for his son. But at the same time, dog, like I said, I mean, I don't want to even fucking chirp on that. Fuck that. But if he's got the message and lesson learned, but in case he didn't, you know what I mean? Like, you know, don't be so naive and open your heart out to everybody. You know, I would think that Tory would know that growing up as a street dude, having to live on his own. You wouldn't be stupid enough to trust somebody. Like, I mean, I know you didn't have really that much parental figure, even though you kind of moved out of your own pop's house in a willing way, not even like in a rebellious way, kind of like, but like more like you just wanted to be honest, be like, nah, I'm not having anybody come here as my mom except for Daystar Peterson. That's how you felt. You know, you walked out, you decided to make moves on your own, which is the difference between you and Meg, because you overcame your shortcomings and made something out of nothing. That's why I have an issue with how you've been doing music the past 2 years, because it's like you forgot all that quality that you learned, and it's like the industry just kind of like hypnotized and brainwashed you. But Meg, on the other hand, has yet to overcome that. And I think, to me personally, she's a late bloomer. I think she will turn things around at the end of the day. But yeah, like, people just feeding to her mindset, you know, just giving her, and like I said, a girl who's got lack of confidence, that just has millions of people, you know, commenting and supporting her. Obviously, that's gonna feed her ego, and she's just gonna go crazy. That's why Kelsey unfollowed her. That's why, like, a lot of people that she kind of grew up with are keeping a distance from her, because they ain't really fucking with where she's at. She's going, you know, she's OP right now, and she needs to calm the hell down. But at the end of the day, you know, Tory exploited her on her flaws, her mindsets, and just like the things that she was trying to do that was just downright wrong. But at the same time, he wanted to keep things respectful. He definitely kept it 100. Honestly, it gave me so much hope. I mean, like, look, at this point, if he's got his mindset right and he knows that, fuck it. I mean, shoot, I got a feeling that he might have been watching my videos. Shit. But either way, I mean, the way he be talking is crazy. But either way, well, it's not crazy. I think God works in miraculous ways. So let me make it that clear. But yeah, he said what he needed to say, and yeah, I think from how he sounds, from how he's really going about it, to me, I think he might have a clear mind. And hopefully, if he learns, like I said, if lesson is learned, and you know not to really put yourself out and trust the industry and give him the benefit of the doubt when you knew in the first place it's nothing but traps in there, good. Because like I said, you've got the floor now. You independent, but what you have now that you didn't have back then when you dropped The Lost Cause, Cruel Intentions, is you have not the notoriety or whatever the word that is, but you have that celebrity status. So you know what I mean? Now people know who you are. And it's unfortunate, yeah, this case is here. But I think this case, once things get hashed out and, you know, November 18th comes by, I really think everything's going to just fall into God's plan. And I think once Tory wakes up, he's straight. But most importantly, man, I think he'll be able to move on and get back to making that swavy music once more. The music that made him pop in the first place. The music that made him hungry. Inspirational to really be the greatest artist in the world. I know he said biggest, but I think personally he could take it up a notch and try to be the greatest. I mean, he's got a rare type of vocal talent. I mean, like some guys, yeah, you could sing like a crazy powerhouse, you can do that. He's got that baby, soft, smooth, silky voice, man, that it is really difficult to maintain. I mean, even The Weeknd, he's got a nice voice, but I don't think he can do what Tory can do. I just think Tory's just once in a kind of generation. He's a once in a generational talent. The fact that he could really sing like that alone makes him, you know, just a high star potent for, you know, being on top of the world as a musical artist. But also he can rap, especially when it gets in that New York style raspy voice. You know, that boasting thing that kind of gives me that Drake vibe. I'm not really fucking with it. That wasn't how he was rapping when he first came up. He was definitely rapping on that raspy New York style, flow. You got to know what I'm talking about, you know, to understand where I'm getting at. If not, look, go check out Lost Cause, check out Conflicts of My Soul, just for a couple examples of what I mean when he sounds like how I explained it. But when he gets in that smooth way, when he's just rapping, I mean, game over. Not to mention you can produce. And he's got this mindset with Swavy where he wants to mesh all these types of genre together. I mean, I think the best project where he really showcased Swavy, I have to admit it, was definitely Lost Cause. But at the same time, like, I felt like I Told You was just up to par as well. I just felt like it was more of an Hello World, Here I Am kind of introduction to not only just the industry, but essentially, like, you know, to the whole world, you know what I mean? Because Lost Cause was a mixtape that he was trying to use to get him to blow up even more. But I Told You was his first, like, I'm here, like, I made it kind of thing. So I felt like he definitely reiterated that way, but also he kind of kept it not as experimental as Lost Cause. So honestly, that's where I can say I Told You is his most polished project as of date, but Lost Cause was definitely his most experimental and creative project. I know Sincerely Tory, a lot of y'all gonna say Sincerely Tory, cool, but that shit was definitely raw. The difference between that and Lost Cause is he kind of knew what he wanted to do, and he was able to be creative without going way off the wire as sounding something that kind of just didn't sound like as if he was trying to go somewhere, like, you know what I mean? Like, he had a kind of interesting path or journey what he was doing with Lost Cause. But anyways, I'm getting into much in the music, man. But yeah, Shawn said you a dirtbag, you a sheep. My brother, I think you best to figure on just vibing out to the music and giving your critique there. I think you are a brilliant person when it comes to breaking down songs and what you like and what you don't like. I like listening to you when you talk about that. But my dog, you did a complete 180 when it comes to talking about something outside of music, like this Meg and Tory case. And I think, honestly, bro, for your own good, keep your mouth shut. You really have no idea what the hell you're talking about. And I've watched the previous 2 videos, and you got the nerve to say that you're giving Tory the benefit of the doubt. And you go out calling him a bitch nigga, call him all this and that, and you even go on to say, yeah, there probably is some evidence that I didn't consider seeing, but I'm still gonna talk this bullshit anyway. It's like, dog, you couldn't have come across more ignorant and more hypocritical, dog. So please, if anything, do what your #1 competition on YouTube does. Who, in my opinion, is probably the coolest cat, and someone who I think his taste is as very picky as mine. But Miami, do what he's doing. He's keeping it cool, sticking to the music. Anything else, I got nothing to say about that. Wait to the court date. You're best off doing like that. So to be honestly, like, to criticize him about like, why would you wait or this and that, like, dog, all you're doing is arguing for Meg's side. You've been doing this since day one. So to me, you seem like you're like that lack of confident dude that no matter what a female says, you're gonna back her up. To me, like, you seem like that dude that just plays for that P, if you know what I mean. But yeah, if you're smart, you keep your mouth shut and stop making more videos about this situation, because, dog, once the truth comes out, your career is gonna be finished. And I know you gotta make some money off YouTube, so don't be stupid. Don't lose that monetization for talking some completely radical and irrational thoughts. Keep that shit to yourself, because you sound like a goof, my nigga. That's all I gotta say. I got nothing but love for you, Shawn C. Don't get me wrong. I definitely have my disagreements and agreements with how you diagnose and, you know, dissect certain songs, but the way you are very sophisticated with how you visualize it, I can definitely feel that same visualization as well. So, like, it's relatable, my nigga. But at the same time, like I said, keep it to the music. That's where your strengths are. And like I said, you're just making a fool out of yourself talking about something that you really don't know what the hell is going on. Like, you really have no idea what's going on outside the box. Because it just seems like, I think the biggest thing was when you talk about how, like, you say the police report's gonna be misleading, but yeah, that somehow validates Meg's words. Like, how do you do that? You validate what someone says over the fucking law? Oh my God. I almost kind of wish he was the DA right now who's gonna press charges against Tory, because no doubt he's gonna win the case with the way you're thinking, bro. This is your boy True Blue signing out. I know I usually have music bumping, but this time I had to kind of keep things on a low just to get out what I gotta say. But if you made it this far, just remember that I said this. Tory well said. Continue to do what you gotta do. Like how Tilla was saying off the anniversary project, keep doing what you're doing. And get back on track with your swavy sounds, dog. The world needs to hear that. They barely got a taste and glimpse of that with I Told You. Get back to that. Especially now that you got the independent platform, you can do whatever you want. Just don't segregate your sounds like how you trying to do an acoustic album in the 80s. Nah, dog. You're going against the grain with what you was trying to build up from day one. Go back to your blueprint and try to mesh everything together. Melting pot. So that way you kind of show that equality in music. So that way everyone, people who like rock, people like alternate, reggae, blues, man, I mean, R&B, hip-hop, of course, but like all types of genres. You were definitely all in and trying to combine certain sounds together to make a different type of, you know, genre, or, you know, just sounds in general. So get back on that track, because you was onto something, dog. The only other dude who really, and no one has a platform like you do. The closest guy that could probably make something happen is Johnny Rain, but I don't even think he has that. Like, he's all about whatever he feels, and he's not really, I don't want to take anything away from Johnny Rain. Mr. Raymond is dope, but I'm just saying, like, and I don't mean no disrespect, but compared to him, your platform and your status as a celebrity is definitely a lot higher. But yeah, that's really your only competition you got to worry about is Mr. Raymond, because once he starts blowing up and people start paying attention to his music, I mean, he signed with Atlantic Records, then, you know, it's gonna sound weird, but then, you know, if you go back to your swavy sounds too late, I might have to go start defending you again and telling people that you ain't biting, you know, Johnny, because, you know, you was doing that since day one. Ain't that a bitch? But yeah, just do you. And yeah, Meg, turn a new leaf, turn a new chapter. Stop acting like a defenseless little girl. And I don't mean that in no disrespect, but other than to tell you what you need to hear. Grow up. You got so much ahead of you. All right, you are already blessed to be where you at in the first place. Don't take advantage. I mean, don't miss out on making the most out of it. So instead of trying to take advantage of the situation, how about you make the most out of it? There's a difference between the two of them. You know what I mean? It's like between being sleazy and being clever. So be clever and do better. And don't just give me a pose of a message like you did on Saturday Night Live. Ain't no one, you can miss everyone with that bullshit. Be about it, talk about it, walk about it, you know what I mean? Shoot, like I said, you ain't got to look no further than Queen Latifah. Look how she handles herself. All right, and she was a queen MC coming up. So if you need some inspiration or someone to really guide you and back you up, hit up the queen. She ain't that far away, so yeah, and ain't nobody disrespecting the queen. UNITY. Yep. It's your boy True Blue signing out. Y'all stay safe, stay blessed, and yeah. Don't sweat it. He's gonna win the case. It's the evidence are there, and anyone that opposes it basically is just fighting for, you know, fighting for their lives, man. I mean, there's nothing else really to say to it. You're just losing the battle. You're fighting a losing battle. That's all. Deuces.